What's going on, everybody? It is your humble YouTube live stream host, Tim, back with another live stream. First and foremost, I'm going to say I'm on this Wi-Fi here, the place I'm staying. This is really a test to see how it works. Whenever I get to a new place, got to figure out the Wi-Fi situation. So I figured, why not? Day one, let's get to it. And if it works like I think it will, we can have a really good discussion. We can stream. What's going on, 32, Daniel, Walla Mala, MP2? We here. We here. All the usual suspects checking in early. I'm also trying to figure out the lighting in this room, which I feel like I may have to get some more. I may have to change the situation around. I feel like this side of my face isn't as well lit as this side, which makes sense because this side is where the sliding glass window is. Okay, see, this side is getting the light from there. Oh, y'all see the beach? Y'all see that water? Y'all see them waves? Y'all see that? Oh, right outside the window. Okay. So this side is getting the light from there. Over here, not so much light. Not as beautiful. Over here, there's a TV. There's a TV and a mirror and the wall. In various states of paintages. What up, Prince? What up, Travis? MP, you got something to talk about? We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. What up, Kevin? I know how it is. A lot of the stuff we hear in this community talk about, we try to talk about in the real world, in real life, and people look at us like we're crazy. Ain't no weirdos here. Well, every now and then one or two comes through. But we can talk about some of the stuff we don't normally get to talk about. Hey, thank you, Jennifer. What up, Kevin? What up, Ghost Gamer Girl? Triple G's. Frugal Grace. What up, Autumn? Kevin got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, we at the beach. We out here. We out here. Michael is doing psychedelics instead of video games and movies. Okay. That's okay. Do what you got to do. Appreciate you asking people to like the video. Thank you. Jay Boogie, what up? Choose Love. How you doing? Nice to meet you too. Can I talk about how to overcome perfectionism, Lakita? That's actually a good one. What up, Tulsa Gould, Jess? I think one of the first steps is to realize that like perfection isn't possible. Like this is how interesting the human mind is. Perfection is a concept. We made it up. Nowhere in nature is there evidence of perfection. Like it's a made up concept, but we pick up on the concept and then we struggle with not being able to like fulfill it. You know, it's not real. And I think spending some time pondering on that, nothing is perfect. No one is perfect. No matter how hard you try, you cannot be perfect, is maybe like step one. There's a lot of steps, it's a process, but that's like step one, realizing it doesn't exist. There's no such thing as perfection, Hey, what up, the other? Wagawan, Alvira. Kalina says, does anyone else feel like there's no point in trying anymore? Yeah, I'd be curious to see what the chat has to say about that. I definitely have some thoughts on that, but the question wasn't what my thoughts on that were. The question was, does anybody else feel like that? So we'll see. Talk about people who like items over people. I mean, that's the programming. That's the in a non-programmed society, you would naturally like people over things. So what does they say? What is that they say? Love people, use things. But in today's world, there's a lot of people who use people, love things, and it's not logical. It doesn't make any sense. So like, it's obviously the programming. So like, you can't really be too mad at people. You know what I mean? I'm learning that it's easy to poke fun at people and, call people sheep and all this other stuff. But like, we have to ask ourselves, why is that? And then once we realize, oh, it's because of that's what the people have been taught. So like, I can't really be mad at people if they're just acting on the information they've been given. Their whole life, people have been like, oh, you can't trust people. You just get what you can get. It's a dog eat dog world. Just money over everything. All this stuff people have been told. It's no surprise they act that way. So I think the real question is, what can we do to, like, those of us who kind of see something's wrong, this isn't right. Like, what can we do to try to, like, help people to at least get an even view of money and things and people and possessions and all that. And then hopefully one day they get to the point where, like, we can help them get to the point where they realize, yeah, people are what it's about. Connection, not possessions. Connection over possession. Hey, what up, Jade? BF, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Glad to hear you watching one of the old videos. Nice. Sorry, 2019. Yeah, man. Back in Myrtle Beach, I have to spend some time here every winter. It's like one of the only traditions I have. I'm hoping to pick up some more travel traditions. Uh, I think Vegas might become one because I really enjoyed my time in Vegas earlier this year. I'm not going to go in the summertime again because that was hot. That 114 hits different. You know what I mean? But I do like coming to Myrtle Beach in the winter, so I thought this was a great place to kick off a lot of the hopefully year or so of travel I got coming. So yeah, we back. Truth loves to ask God to send me someone, and you popped up. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. We here. Okay, I'm way I'm way behind these comments. What up, Andrew? Beverly. Hey, the True Life Media said, I've been following your channel for a while. I really don't comment much, but I just want to say your Stop Drinking videos helped me a lot in the beginning. Yes, yes. This new year will be 1 year. That's amazing. Life Media, that is amazing. That is amazing. Trey Life Media, excuse me. That's amazing. So glad that my videos could play some part in the early stages of your getting sober. That's amazing. That is amazing. Thanks for sharing. How to not give up looking for a job that one loves. I mean, I think that's the hard part is, like, when you're looking for a job you love and it doesn't seem like it's happening. Will you stick with it? And I do believe that the universe tests us, God tests us for whatever reason, kind of, or maybe it's not a test. That's the word we have for it. But I do think there is usually some type of trial that we have to pass before we get what we want. I don't know why. I feel like it's different times, but that might be just like the test you have to pass. Is it might take you a while or longer than you'd like. It might go past the point of, in the beginning, you might, yeah, you're fired up. I'm gonna look for this job. And then over time, that fire kind of wanes. And the job you're looking for, the job you love, might be just on the other side of, like, okay, it's not fun doing this anymore. But if you really want it, if that's something you really want, then perseverance. Just focus on, all right, I don't care how long it takes, because I know when I get the job I love is going to be worth it. It's kind of looking for true love. If you really trying to meet somebody, you really trying to fall in love, then there should be no time limit. If it takes 25 years, it's worth it to meet someone to spend your life with. Hey, Carol, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a nice little room. Nice little room, nice little, okay, you see, it's a nice little room, and it's too. I mean, it's not, it's definitely pretty basic, but for it to be oceanfront, I'm good. I'm very happy with it. Yeah, for it to be oceanfront. Cirilla. Yes, yes, that makes total sense. 28 years old, trying to do remote work, leave the rat race, look for a balance that works in my life. Not gonna lie, I'm a little scared because of financial security. That is normal. That's totally normal. Totally normal. But as I always like to say, you can still do it scared. You know what I mean? Like, you can be afraid, scared, nervous. You can still do whatever it is you're afraid, scared, nervous to do. There's no rule that says you can't. You know? Yeah, this is scaring the crap out of me. I'm still doing it. Especially in situations where it's logical to be scared. If you're thinking about changing from steady employment to something maybe not as steady, something different, you're gonna be worried about the money. You're going to be worried about financial things. Totally logical. That's the only way to make that move. If you sit around and wait until you're not worried about money, you're probably not going to make the move. How you get to not being worried about money is to make that move. And then when it's successful, you don't have to worry about the money then. Once you find remote work or whatever it is you're going to do that gets you out the rat race, and then your coins are back where you want them to be, or even maybe even better than they are now, then you won't have to worry about that. But the only way to get out of the rat race is to get out of the rat race. And like, that's always going to be scary, but like that fortunately doesn't have to stop us, Good luck. You got this. Elvira says the current state of the world economy, does it pay to still try to save and invest? The stock market is in the toilet. Real quick, I'll say this. I think it always pays to save, no matter what. I think it always pays to save. And the stock market isn't the only tool for investment. And that is something that, like, as I start to learn a little more about money and stuff, I definitely want to do a video on. But that is something that, like, when it comes to investing, people always look at the stock market. 99% of the people who talk to you about investing is stock market or real estate, always. And there's nothing wrong with those. But like, if you think the stock market is in the toilet, but you want to invest, there's no rule that says we can't find something else to invest in. There's nothing that says we can't find an alternative investment vehicle. Like, if you find the right investment, it doesn't matter what the world economy looks like. More money is made when the economy is in the toilet than when it's not, probably. How do you think rich people stay rich? How do you think the mega wealthy stay mega wealthy and seem to always get wealthier no matter what happens in the world? There's a war, they get rich. There's a recession, they get rich. If it's great times in the economy, they get rich. It's because they know where to put their money depending on what time it is and what's going on in the world. And I think that's a skill any of us can pick up if we do the research. We may not have the same amount of money to invest in certain areas, but like, we can still make the same investments or similar investments. So yeah, that would be my answer to that question. Great question, by the way. Ooh, Kevin, about to be 35. Nice. About to switch things up, change your life. That's how old I was, Kevin. 34, 35. I really started, I think, because I had done, say you start normal adulthood at 20, by 35, you've done it for like 15 years. And I think some of us start to be like, all right, okay, that's long enough to know, like, this is cool, but I want something different. Whereas before that, it just may not have been enough time for you to really just get aggravated with it and be like, this is cool. I just want something different. So yeah, maybe 35, good age, good age. Oh, I'm way behind these comments. I'm trying to get caught up. Tara, hey, by the way, congratulations on 2.5 years. If you don't want to use responsibly, don't, you know what I mean? Yeah, I would always err on the side of not doing something. If you're afraid that, like, I don't know if I can, then I just wouldn't, like, that is interesting. Yeah, that someone would say that. Yeah, I would just keep going, keep with the recovery, the sobriety. Like, why even risk it? Hey, Tulsa, quit the crappy job, found a job you really love that pays well. Should you stay or move on? I'll say this. If you've got like that travel bug, sooner or later you're gonna have to, like, that travel itch, sooner or later you're gonna have to, like, scratch it. So, maybe you decide to stay at the job you really love for, so all right, I'm gonna stay here for another, almost, I got a sparkling water, almost spilled it. Maybe you just said, okay, I want to do some traveling, but I really like this job. Maybe you say, okay, I stay here for another X amount of years. And then while I'm doing that, I'm talking to them about a sabbatical. Hey, if I work here for 3 years, can I take 6 months off and come back? Or something like that. So, like, there's probably a situation where you can keep that job since you love it, keep making that money, but then also when you're ready, take some time off. It doesn't have to be, I think, one or the other. I think it can be both and just be like the best possible situation. I think in life we think very concrete. Huh. I'm very bad about doing this. This is either this or that. And I've been trying to learn to be like, oh, figure out what, like, these days, like, I tell myself, say aloud, Timothy, what it is you would like to do in this situation if you could decide it, like, totally. If you could make this happen exactly the way you want it to happen, how would you make it happen? And then it's like, once I figure that out and I say it aloud, if it was up to me, I'd be able to do this. Then I'm like, okay, make that happen. Because if I just leave it in my head, a lot of times the objections overpower me actually getting to what it is I really want to do. I'm like, oh, I'd like to. Then someone's like, you can't do that. You can't do that. But what about, but if I say it out loud, I'm like, oh, that's what I would like to happen. How do we make that happen? Because I mean, everything's possible. Might not always happen, but everything's possible, you know. Hey, sorry to hear about that earn not given. Sorry, I can imagine child support, custody court would be tough trying to fight for your own kids. That I can imagine. Hang in there. Good luck. Yeah, Carol, it's I've never been here in December, so I've been here in January, been here in February, but it's my first time being in Myrtle Beach in December, so um seems cool so far. Excited to see what it's like. What up, Sylvie? Ken, I do think there is some truth that, like, you have to accept that failure is an option for you to really take those leaps. You got to accept that you might fall to take the real leaps. You know what I mean? If you're scared to fall, I mean, if you think about it, like, if you're in the movies when someone's running on top of a building and then they have to, like, jump to the next building. If you're scared of falling, you're either not going to jump or you're going to do, like, you're going to jump to a close build. You know what I mean? You're not going to take that big jump from here all the way over here if you're scared of falling. You have to get to the point where you're like, this monster's chasing me. If I don't jump to that building way over there, he's going to catch me. So I don't care. I'm jumping. And I feel like in life, we got to get to that point sometimes of, this I'm doing now just ain't working. And I would rather try this and fail miserably, fall flat on my face. I would rather do that than keep doing this. And then you just jump and, like, you like, whatever happens, happens. That acceptance of whatever happens, happens. But as long as we're, like, super afraid, or we're like, I want to do that, but I don't want, like, that's usually when we don't go in, like, full steam ahead. We're just kind of trying, and kind of trying rarely gets you where you need to go in life. But when we just try, give it our all, no matter what, I think that's when we get to the places we're trying to get to. Or even if we do fail, we pick ourselves back up and try again, full steam ahead again. Sonny, I see you. I see you. I messaged you back, like, right before I got on here. I messaged you back. Actually, I did it right before I got on here because I was like, I want to be, because I was like, he might pop up on the chat, and I don't want to be like, oh man, I didn't message you back yet. So I was like, I'm gonna hit him back before I get on here. But yeah. I messaged you back. Let's do it. Definitely. Good to see you as always. Oh, the stock market's at an all-time high. Oh, okay. I don't pay attention to it currently. Uh, Jerry Springs said, how do you become okay with being present with emotional polluters all around? I don't know if I can really answer that one, Jerry, because I just haven't been in a situation like that in a while. Um, I think that's one of those situations where if we can get out of it, get out of it. But if not, then we just have to accept like this is how these people are and find a way to just not engage. And if we can do our best to not let it affect us, which is hard. But like if you're in a situation where you're going to be around those people and there's no way you can get away from them, like work or something like that, then we almost have to just like accept and realize we're going to be getting hit with these emotional pollutants on a regular basis and try to find a way to like not engage, not get worked up about it all the time. Sometimes the biggest problem is we just get so worked up, understandably. But if we allow ourselves to get worked up and aggravated about something every single day, that doesn't do anything for us. Um, but I think the best course of action is to exit stage right if possible. You know, who other you teaching Swahili? Okay, okay. That does sound fulfilling. That does sound fun. Hey, 133. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Abundance is into the chat. Yes, it has. We're gonna give you a like right there. Boom. Boom. Sorry I'm way behind the comments, folks. Trying to answer people's questions. I appreciate all the comments, appreciate all the likes. Lee in the building. Corey Cummins checking in. Incognito almost made a lot of money on the stock market last winter because there was so much of a heap with companies going to potential bankruptcy or financial platforms. You almost made a lot of money? What I'm curious, like what happened? Um Al Alvira, I already have a list of 25 alternative investments. Um I'm just waiting to do a little more research on a lot of them, but I already have the list. What's crazy? That list was I wrote that list up a while back in like an old notebook, and I ripped it because I threw the notebook away. I ripped the page out, and I've been taking it with me everywhere. Like just the other day when I was throwing a lot of stuff away, I found that list again, and I'm like, I can't wait to make this video. It's coming. Oh, it's coming. That one's coming. That one's coming. Hmm. Oh, everyone's in the stock market all time high. Okay. Barbara said, I want to start a huge product, but at the moment, I don't know how to start. I can see a very specific result and outcome, which is good, but I feel overwhelmed by lack of expertise and how to get the right people in. So, yeah, I'm definitely stuck in this phase. My only very limited advice on that, Barbara, would just be any potential step you see, take it. You know, sometimes we got to do some baby steps to get to the big steps, So, like, in anything you see that's like, hey, this might help, however small or minuscule or whatever, take those, and maybe those will eventually lead to the right door opening, and that leads to like one of the big steps or something like that. Yeah, but that's great. You already see like a specific outcome. That's good. What up, JS? Z, new subscriber. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the community. Thank you. Thank you. MP, glad to hear you didn't break your sobriety streak last night. It happens. You get close. You get close sometimes. Glad to hear you didn't break it. What up, Jasmine? Joy, yes. It's crazy. I was just talking to an Uber driver about visiting Ghana yesterday. He took me to the airport yesterday morning. And we were just talking. He said something about being from Ghana. And I was like, bro, hold up. I was like, I'm trying to get to Ghana. Where should I go? And he was like, I'm from Accra. You should go there. He gave me some really good advice. So yeah, I tell you, Ghana's on the list. Like Ghana's on the list. I'd love to visit every country in Africa one day, but Ghana's on my top 10 list, if not top 5 list. Like, yeah, so we're gonna make that happen. Facts, Travis. Whoever said that sounds intelligent. There's no time limit on living the life you want to live. There's no other game. Facts. Like it's crazy. We get so caught up in all this other stuff that like we don't do the life stuff. We get so caught up in all this other stuff that we think is life. Or sometimes we even know it isn't. We get so caught up in all this other stuff that we don't take care of the life stuff. Like life is like that's the game. That's the game. It's like you're a basketball player and you get so caught up in like the hecklers and the crowd and all that that you just like stop playing the game. That's basically what we do. We get so caught up in the distractions and all this other stuff that we don't take the time to actually like do life. It's like, bro, focus on the game. Focus on the game. All that other stuff is crazy. Like, this is all there is. If you don't come out of here, if we don't come out of here having lived the life we wanted to live, like what in your last 15 seconds of life, when all the regret starts coming in, if you haven't lived the life you wanted to live, you're not going to be like, well, I had that benzo. Well, I had that big ass house. You know what I mean? Like you're not all the, well, I'll listen to my parents. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, none of that stuff is gonna be going through our heads. Well, I got that promotion, which none of that stuff is wrong. Nothing wrong with any of that stuff. But if it's not what you want, or if it's what's standing in the way, if going after that is keeping us from going after this or whatever, then like it's not gonna mean nothing when it's all said and done. None of that matters if like we're not doing what we want to do, which is why we were put here. It's good. Yeah. I could talk about that forever. I gotta keep going. If I died tomorrow, would I be happy with my life? Yeah, I would. I would. I would. I might feel some regret for a few things I didn't get to do that I probably could have done. Like I'd be like, oh, I could have done more traveling. There was some years there that I didn't do much. I'd be like, oh man, I'm not gonna get to see Japan in this life, stuff like that. But like overall, I would feel like that for a second, and then I would go back to gratitude and be like, but bro, we got to do a lot. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would. It'd be a little like, yeah, well, maybe the next life, but especially compared to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the fact that I would be dying sober would be amazing to me because so many of my friends didn't get to. In fact, they died because of their addiction. You know what I mean? So like the fact that I was dying sober would, yeah, I don't want to say I'd be ecstatic, but I'd be ecstatic to be dying. But yeah, man, it would, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. That's what I always say. They can take me tomorrow. I don't want them to, but I'm good. Yeah, man. I wouldn't be mad at all. Like, I mean, I'd be content. Stefan, what up? I'm having a great day. How about you? Yeah, Hollis, down there at the beach, brother. Hey, 133 coming through again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. So please leave a like for abundance. It's free. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. We almost at 100 likes. We're getting there. J Baby 07, check it in. Good to see you. Good to see you. Dread, there's typically not a lot of seasonal jobs in Hawaii because Hawaii has lots of people looking to work, and like everybody wants to go to Hawaii. So, excuse me, the seasonal people hire seasonally typically because there's nobody locally who wants to work there. But Hawaii has a huge like unemployment problem. So, yeah, I have seen one or two jobs on Cool Works from Hawaii, and they were always kind of weird. There was always something. I was like, this sounds weird here. But yeah, there's tons of people willing to work in Hawaii. So yeah, they're almost never advertising for jobs. Do I think it's important to move away from your hometown? Freedom, if you want to. You know what I mean? Like if you really aren't liking your hometown anymore, I think it's good to move away. If you love your hometown, stay. But if you're just like, man, I'm trying to get up out of here, I think it's important to get up out of there because like if you don't want to be there, why waste your life in a place you already know everything about? And there's anybody who's ever left where they're from will tell you, there is just this amazing feeling of going somewhere else and nobody knowing you, nobody knowing your family, nobody knowing your backstory, nobody knowing about that embarrassing thing you did in fifth grade at the school play. You know what I mean? Just going somewhere and a fresh start is amazing. It is amazing. That's why I try to do it 3 times a year. No, it's amazing, you know? Oh, you going out to the villages, Hollis? Nice, nice. Oh, you're welcome, Jimmy. Try to link some books that might bring some people some good information. Ghanaian food is good. Y'all know me. I'm not really a foodie, so I might go to Ghana and be at the Mickey days. You know, I go, I go to Ghana and be at Starbucks and McDonald's. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I do want to try to start eating more local foods when I travel. Yeah. MS said, I'm afraid of being alone when I'm old. What to do about it? Honestly, I feel like that's one of those things that when it comes to finding true love, long term companionship, I think that's one of those things that there's a certain element of it that we can't do anything about. I mean, we can work on ourselves and make it so that when the person who's a good fit for us comes into our life, that we'll be ready for it, that they'll look at us and be like, oh, that person is, but other than like, you can't make true love, long term companionship, someone who's going to be there when you're dying. You can't make that happen. I think, and I say this word a lot because like this is like my gratitude and acceptance are like my two big words now. I think it's one of those things we just have to accept. Like I'm doing what I can, and beyond that, if you believe in a higher power like I do, beyond that, the source has got me. God has got me. But like I said, doing what we can to work on ourselves. But there's a part of it that like you can't make somebody appear. You can make you can get on the apps, you can do all kinds of stuff, but like if the person for you isn't there, they're just not there. You know. Beverly, I'm staying here for December. I always usually come to Myrtle Beach for around a month, something like that. So yeah, it's Bella wants to go to Thailand. Yes, blue whale watching in Hawaii or California. Okay, I didn't even know what that was a thing. They got blue whales. See, I learn something every day. Rose, what up? You're at the border of Washington D.C. and Virginia on the East Coast. Nice, nice. Headed down to Texas. Texas, right? Yeah. What would I tell my 30-year-old self? I get asked this a lot, and honestly, not much. Probably just something like keep fighting, it'll get better, or something like that. Something very vague. Um, 30-year-old me was still, I was at the tail end of the partying and drinking, but um, just keep, I would probably tell myself, like, bro, deep down inside, you're a good person and you're gonna get back to that one day. You know what I mean? Like just keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna work it all out. You know who you are deep down inside. Never lose sight of that. But give yourself a little grace. Don't beat yourself up too much. You just working through what you're working through. And then I'd probably be like, and have fun. you know, uh, but yeah, really no life shattering advice. Um, Probably just because I wouldn't have listened anyway. But just encouragement, probably just motivation. And no, I'm not in Colorado, Rose. I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Do I ever have sleep schedule problems? Sometimes, Armin check. If I'm going through some stuff, I don't sleep well. Like I'll wake up like 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 in the morning. Um, that happens from time to time. I'll go to sleep fine, and then I just wake up middle of the night, can't really go back to sleep for a couple hours. I've learned to just kind of embrace that. Okay, I'm gonna be up for a while, and I just tell myself, you're gonna fall back asleep in 3 hours. You wake up at 1, you'll fall asleep around 3:45, 4 o'clock. Then you'll sleep till like 7, 6:37. So instead of, I used to just lay there and toss and turn and be aggravated. Oh, why can't I go? But now I'm just like, okay, you're going to fall asleep. So I just maybe read a book or listen to some Alan Watts. I just don't stress about it, and then I always fall back asleep. But sometimes I do get some weird sleep stuff. B. Harris, Lindsay, how's it going? Nicole says, so Tim, what's the difference between you having regrets for not traveling more versus someone who has regrets for maybe sticking with the jobs that got them the promotion? The difference there, Nicole, is the word more, because I was out there doing it. I just maybe didn't do it 100% as much as I could do it. Whereas if you stayed at a job, you know what I mean? If you just didn't do anything, that's a different regret. If you stuck with one job and then you're like, man, I probably could have went and chased my passion, done something different. That's different than like if you did, say that same person did quit the job where they might have got the promotion or whatever and went and did something they like better, blah, 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 blah. That person, if they're like, oh man, I'm so glad that I quit that one job. I started my own business, blah, blah, blah. I just wish that I also could have learned to play the guitar. I just wish I also, you know what I mean? So more, I feel like is the operative word there. Um, the difference between the two. What to do when you're stuck at a job that pays good but you're burned out? Miss Cat, and of course everybody's bill situation is different. Um, if you need to be making that much money, stay at. This is just my advice on this. Stay at that job until you can work it out, so you don't need to be making that much money, and then you can go get you a job that doesn't burn you out, that doesn't pay as much. Because like burnout is that's more that life level stuff. Burnout will stress you out. Burnout will kill you. Burnout will have you stressed out, stroked out, all that. You know what I mean? Like it's just not burnout. What will happen with burnout, even if it doesn't do all that other stuff, is the day will come where you just physically can't go into that good paying job. You'll wake up one day and your body's like, nope, nope. Whatever that looks like, however it manifests, your body will be like, you're too tired, you can't go. But a lot of times, and understandably, a lot of times we're just like, man, it's good money. I gotta keep going. Especially if we got our finances to where like we need that big paycheck now. But if we can start on the path to switching up our finances, killing some of the bills, maybe getting out of debt to where we don't need the good paycheck, to where we can go work anywhere and make it, then whatever's keeping us at that job is negated. Or if you don't need the big paycheck, but you just like it, if we can start to realize it's not worth it, you know, money over everything is not true. Like it's, you know what I mean? Um, but it basically boils down to the main reason you stay at that job is the money. If you can get it to where you don't care about the money or don't need to care about the money, then there's no reason for you to stay at that job. And then it'll be easy to leave. Only thing keep me here is the money. I don't need the money. I'm gonna go work over here where I won't be burned out, you know? How was Tim in his 20s? I worked very hard. I drank and partied very hard. That was pretty much Tim in his 20s. You know, so if you caught me sober or working, I was pretty similar to the guy I am now. Minus a lot of the life experience and stuff I've picked up since then. But if you caught me, in the evenings or on the weekends, yeah, I was a totally who knows who you was getting. You might get angry Tim, you might get violent Tim, you might get super lovey-dovey, horny Tim. Who knows? Who knows what you was getting? It was a mixed bag of just bad behavior, you know. And you was sticking your hand in it and pulling out who knows what Tim you got. But during the day, you know, when I was sober, decent dude. I feel like I've always been a decent person. I'm curious that when I'm like 65 and someone's like, "How was Tim in his 40s?" What I'm gonna say. I'm curious to see that. Hey, 123 coming through again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. So facts. I left Texas for Colorado. Not going back. Hey, Colorado's a cool state. Colorado's a cool state. A lot of actually, I was watching a video. Was it Nick Johnson? But like the growth in Colorado is slowed, which is crazy. The population growth is kind of slowing. Twist on. I think you take some of your baggage with you when you move. I just think it's a lot of it's easier to deal with. You know what I mean? Now there is some baggage, like you said, that is tied to where you're from. But I do think some of the stuff that's you take with you. But I think sometimes it's easier to deal with when you don't have all that other connection. You know what I mean? Like it's different. It's different. It's different. So I see your point. I agree. What up, Drew? Appreciate you coming through. Heath, how you doing? Do I feel the need to be productive? I do if it's like I know like my living is tied to it. But beyond that, no. Like I'm very big on doing nothing if you can afford to. If when it comes to like work and doing whatever you got to do, pay the bills, all that, yeah, okay, you got to do something. But like beyond that, I'm a big believer in doing absolutely nothing. Just live life. Life doesn't always like just living life, especially on your own time, doesn't have to be productive. You don't have to be able to like write a list of what you did over the weekend. If you sat on the couch and did absolutely nothing, but what you wanted to do was sit on the couch and do absolutely nothing, if the whole time you were sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing, you're like, man, this is great. If the whole time you're like, man, I am enjoying sitting on this couch and doing nothing, then that's fine. That's fine. I do think we do have some programming there that says like you always have to be doing something because that and if you think about it, that's the mindset that a really good programmed wage slave or employee has. If I'm massa, I want you to be programmed to think you always got to be doing something because you're probably going to come do it for me. So I want you in that mind frame, if I'm the boss, to think you always need to be doing something, being to be productive. I don't want you to realize that you can just sit at home and chill, do fun stuff with your kids. No, you need to be doing something productive. But that's all the programming, I think. Bush, I am not a Christian. No, I'm not any organized faith or religion. Just not for me. But I respect you're Muslim. I respect that. I respect everybody's religious preference. Whatever works for you is what I always say. Jerry, the car list is going great. Like I don't. I mean, for one thing, every time I come to Myrtle Beach, I don't have a car. I've never had a car here. So like, but yeah, it's what I'll say. Like you've done something for a while, then you switch it up, when you go back, you just pick it right back up. It's like if you worked at a job for 5 years, you went somewhere else and came back, you just pick it right back up. So it's going great. Am I excited about the Olympics? And I mean, I'll probably watch. I'm not excited for it, but I might watch some if it pops up. Sir Giggles, I'm doing good. I'm doing well. How are you? Hey, I'm my Sky09. Thank you. Appreciate the love. Thank you. JB Smooth. I have not done cruise line work. Just something I never really was interested in for me personally. Um, I like the fact that if I'm a job and I want to leave, I can just leave. I don't want to have to wait until they pull into a port and then find my way back to the main. Just a lot of stuff. You know, just not for me. If you're really bad road rage just came all of a sudden, Ghost Gamer Girl, it's probably a symptom of something else. So I would just try to look and see, did something else change in your life? You know, like what changed? Because I mean, you've been driving for years. Like did anything else change around that same time that your road rage got really bad? Because that's what I find that when I'm kind of stressed about something or anxious about something or something else is going on, something else unresolved in my life, that's when I find myself acting out. It comes out in other ways. Oh, I got a real quick story for y'all. Then we'll get back to the questions. So, like, I know I've kind of been a little stressed, even though I'm making what I think are good decisions. I have been just a little stressed with just like making some rather quick decisions about selling the car, getting rid of stuff, where I'm going to move, what I'm going to do this year. You know, there's always the financial concerns. I don't let it stop me, but obviously, when I do start making like more risky moves, there are like financial concern things like that. So I could tell the last few weeks I've been kind of. I told y'all like I had a little road rage incident. I kind of So yesterday when I was traveling, and I had to wake up at like 3:30 to get to my flight left at 8. So they start boarding at like 7:20. So I like to get to the airport a couple hours early. I don't want no problems. So basically I had to get up at like 3:30 to get everything packed. Boom, boom, boom. Um anyway, after my second flight, excuse me, after my first flight, I'm at the Atlanta airport. Okay. And one of the things I like to do is I like to just walk around the airport during my layover. I don't sit down. I'll eat a little something. I had some Wendy's, some greasy Wendy's. And then I just kind of walk around. I don't like to just sit. So at the Atlanta airport, where the train goes to take you from each gate, instead of taking the train, I just walk back and forth. Like I walk from gate D all the way up to gate A, and then I'll walk back. You know what I mean? So I was doing that. And there's an area where they have like one of those moving sidewalks so you can get on and nobody stands on them though. Everybody gets on the moving sidewalk and still walks. It's kind of weird. It is quicker though. So there was like some type of like building or something. Some type of shack they put up in the middle, the place where you walked, then the moving sidewalk. So every other area, it was like wide open down there. This was the one area where like it was tight. And so there was this very nice family with like a double stroller and twins or something in front of me. And they were kind of slowing your boy down because I be trying to walk. Even when I'm walking to waste time, I still walk at the same pace. So they were, so they were like slowing me down. And so I was kind of like, do I have enough room to get around them? How long is this going to take? Do I want to like go back? All this is going on. And then some dude comes up and he's like, coming behind you on your left, just like out of nowhere. Like I'm just walking and out of nowhere, some guy's like coming up on your left, and I'm like, "What? Who?" You know what I mean? Like when you're in the zone, you're just mind your own business, and I'm like, "What?" Who? And I'm like, so I move to my right, like I just pick a like I honestly, who knows me knows I don't know my right from my left that well. I can figure it out, but like in that split second, he's like, "Come on, I'm like, "What's up?" I just moved to the right. I just picked a move. I go, "Ugh," you know. But in the 2 seconds of hesitation, the 1.7 seconds of hesitation, he was already up on me. And I guess he didn't think I was going to move. So he went to the right. So we ended up like bumping into each other. And he's like, he was like, oh, I guess you don't know. He muttered something about like me not knowing my whatever, whatever. And that just set me off. That just set me off. Cause I'm like, and like, and I feel bad in hindsight because there was kids there. But he bumped into me, he muttered something. I was like, bro, you gotta give me time to move out the way, you fucking dickhead, or something. I didn't mean I usually don't use those words, but I said something along those lines. I cursed at him. I was like, you gotta give me time to move out the way, you freaking whatever. Like, cause the whole thing took place in 5 seconds. But like, I was like, Tim, I'll bring this up to say, I was like, oh, Tim, you need to get to Myrtle Beach and start relaxing because you two wound up tight. You know what I mean? Because I never in the airport in front of kids, I don't ever blurt out curse words. But I was like, and I apologize for saying them here. I didn't mean to. It just I was in the story. But yeah, I was like, I know. I was like, Tim, you need to relax. You too high strung, even though he was in the wrong. But I'm like, you up here cussing people out the airport? Um, what do I enjoy about Myrtle Beach, Nick? This time of year, nobody's here. The weather's great. And it's the off season, so the accommodations are they're I won't even say they're half priced. You know what I mean? This place I got is probably a quarter of what it would cost during the summer. So that's one thing I really like about it. Paul, we still working out what's next on the journey. We still working it out. No, I'm not gonna get a bike. Everybody keeps saying getting a bike, get a bike. Um, Honestly, like if I lived in one place, maybe a bike would make sense. But like if I'm gonna be traveling, like what am I gonna do with the bike? You know what I mean? It's yeah. Like I mean, what's yeah? What am I gonna do? Like what am I gonna do with the bike? You know what I mean? So I appreciate people ask saying that, but like I don't. I mean, if I wanted a mode of transportation, I would just got another car. Jim, I don't know if I'm gonna get that OMG platter from River City Cafe. Um, Their wings, though, definitely. I'm gonna go back and get some of the wings, but I don't know if I'm gonna get that platter again. The DR in the building. What up, Richard? Just Judy said, come back to Montana. Man, if Montana wasn't so expensive, I'd love to have a home base in Bozeman. It's just too expensive. Jennifer said, I think about you every time I sit around and do nothing. Hey, you're welcome. So it's just, it's okay to just live, just be. You're right. Hey, Bobby, appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed that stream. Who's going to win the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship this year? They're not going to, but I'm going to say Notre Dame because I love Notre Dame. I'm definitely not agnostic during right now. No. Paul, no, I don't fast. I'm too thin to fast. I feel like if I fasted, I'd. That's good lighting right there. Two, glad to hear that. 21 days, no booze. Glad to hear that. Let's go for a month. Let's go. JJYII. I'm currently not working. Nasam, yeah, I got everything I need in my backpack, or I can just buy it when I get where I'm going. And I think that's the thing that in my backpack and my suitcase. I got two suitcases. I think that's the thing that a lot of people miss. Like if I need something, I can buy it. Like I just went and bought some laundry detergent. I had some before, but I'm like, I'm not taking that on the airplane when I can just go to the Dollar General and get some for $5. Even with like clothes, you know. If I don't have the proper clothes, like I had a big coat, I threw it away. So if I end up somewhere and I need a big coat, I'll just go buy a big coat. Like it's not, you know what I mean? The clothes, I feel like, except for some clothes I have that I just like, and even them, they serve a function. So like if I need something to serve a function, I just buy it, and then when it's done serving that function, I can get rid of it. Like it's you know. So yeah, I mean, you really don't need much. Like, what do you really need? You need like underwear, pants, shirts, toiletries. Like, what more do you really need? Shoes, hat. You know what I mean? Like, you really don't need a lot in life if you think about it. A lot of the stuff we have, we just have a lot of, or stuff we really don't need, but we like. But when for me, like I would rather travel than hold on to stuff. Like it's you know, I don't. I'm like what like I even surprise myself sometimes because I'm like, yeah, what am I missing? Like you know, and it was so great when I got here and I was taking my clothes out of my. It took about 5 minutes to take all my clothes up, hang them up, fold them up, put them in the drawers. It was amazing. Thoughts on house hacking? I think it's great for people who want to house hack. I have not done gig jobs in a while. Blessed. Part of that is because I didn't want to do the income taxes on it. Doing Instacart adds a whole nother 2 hours to my to my taxes. So I was like, if I'm not gonna do it hardcore, I'm not gonna do it. Now I don't have a car, so 19 film 80. I don't get lonely much, and respectfully, that to me seems like the worst reason to have kids. Like, if I was going to have kids, it would be because I and the woman I was with, we both together felt like we really wanted to have kids. We really had wanted to bring a new life into this world and raise it and take care of it. I'm not going to bring kids in this world because I'm lonely. Like, that just seems crazy to me. And I'm not lonely. I'm definitely not lonely enough to have to deal with a kid for 18 years. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, but that's just me. Other people might see it totally different. But I'm like, bruh, like, I don't even want a pet. So I'm definitely not gonna like have a kid. Like, no, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Yeah, Atlanta's a big airport. I like Atlanta Airport. Tell you to stop playing Call of Duty. That Call of Duty got you got you out here stressed. I'm messing with you. I just got to the comments about my incident at the airport. Hey, 133, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate the love, the continued support. Super Chat Squad, single-handedly holding down the Super Chat Squad. I appreciate that. So 200 plus viewers. Let's like it up for abundance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I got to decompress like Hollis is doing. I got to. I felt it. I was like, man, I gotta get to Myrtle Beach and relax. As soon as I got out here to the ocean, I'm like, okay, here we go. How do you travel with a cat? I don't know. I've never traveled with a pet. You know, when you go to the hotel and they say, "Do you have any pets with you?" I always say never, or I'm like, no. Like, I make a point to let the poor girl at the front desk know I hate pets, even though she doesn't care. Not say I hate pets. I don't dislike or like pets. I just don't whatever. But I make a point to be like, no, don't have any pets, because I know one day one of them's gonna say, "Ooh, I don't travel with pets either." What's your name again? Okay. Thank you, Spicy Punk Rocker. Thank you. Glad you like the channel. If I'm ever in the ATL for extended time, have a bike you can use for free. I appreciate that. Once again, I don't do bikes though. Like a lot of bike love. Maybe I should get a bike because then I could make bike content for the channel. A lot of people like bikes. I appreciate that though, Belinda. Thank you, Belinda. Mud. I do the very few important documents I have. Um, I do have some people that'll take care of those for me. So I got people that are like, hey, if you need to somewhere to store whatever, whatever, just send it to me. So yeah. Yeah, Ang Band. Yeah, I go to Myrtle Beach every year. So I got quite a few videos in Myrtle Beach. Hey Nicholas, that's amazing. That is amazing. And like it's good when you reach that place of like there's no other way forward. Cause then you have to quit. When you get to that place, like I can't, nah, I gotta do it. That's actually good because then it's like you have to quit. And if you're ever tempted to go back, you remember that. Like, now I already know if I go back, it's not gonna work. So why even do it? So that's a good place to be. And shout out to the 11 months. That's amazing. That's amazing. My go-to for earbuds headphones, whatever they got cheap on Amazon. Hey, OMG, Kenji of KO Beats. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. Thank you. I appreciate the love. Thank you. Thank you. Nice little sticker. Appreciate that. OMG. Thank you. We here. Yes, Judy, I recognize the resources it took to get me across the country, and I'm very grateful. Adam said, when I was married, my wife would buy stuff all the time, stress me out. Probably because I was in the military and used to moving all the time. And that's something that I'll have to. There's a lot of reasons when people are like, "Why are you single?" Um, I'm like, I live a very unique lifestyle. It takes a special woman for me to be like, I only got 2 suitcases. You know what I mean? And I won't and, like, I'm big on letting people do what they do, so I would never be like, "You can't buy," but, like, I know it's not gonna work for me with someone who just, like, constantly buying stuff. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to, like, find another nomad traveler who doesn't like a lot of stuff either, or it's just not gonna work. Or I'll just be alone, which is fine too, But, yeah, I know I won't be able to do it. Spicy punk rocker. Did I get a new camera? No. I actually threw a camera away. My Mark II G7X. I actually showed it in a stream the other. I threw it away. I haven't used it in months. What am I doing with it? I threw it away. That one was hard. That was hard because I've had that camera or one like it for years. You know what I mean? And I was like, what if I need it for? And I'm like, Tim. And I remembered, oh, there was like a little scratch on the lens. I'm like, Tim, throw it. You're not going to use it. That one was hard though. I took it to the trash can. I put it back on the desk. Finally, I just threw it away. That one was hard, throwing the camera away, but don't need it. Don't need it. OMG, I think if you want to buy a house, look into buying a house, but I would do my research on the housing market. That I would if you really want a house, but you can hold off for a few years, I might do that. Yeah, I would do my research on the housing market. I think Americans are fascinated by these. I haven't seen that movie, Leave the World Behind, so I don't know what scenarios you're talking about, Wild Thing. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie. I don't think. Oh, oh, yeah, where we at in chat? Yeah, I need a bike across the country. I'm good. Yeah, gamer girl. I just like not having any obligations. Like when I was at the airport yesterday, I was like, I literally could go anywhere I want to right now. I was coming to Myrtle Beach, but I was like, I literally could hop on any flight I wanted to right now and not come back until I wanted. You know what I mean? I was like, I literally could just go anywhere. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty cool. I still think that's pretty cool. Hey, Mary, that is awesome. 126 days alcohol free. Nice, nice, nice. Never go back. Yes, yes. Glad that the videos on the channel could help. Oh, I got you, gamer girl. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, Holly, sorry to hear about losing your job. Um, have extreme difficulty getting hired. The only thing I can really think of is like gig jobs, if that's something you're interested in. There's so many different, Uber, Lyft, Instacart, DoorDash, a lot of these jobs that there's no real skill involved. They don't care who does them, but you can still make good money if you're willing to like hustle and put in the work. Those might be something that could help you get to, bridge that gap until you do get hired somewhere. And I mean, this is one I always recommend, but I don't know your situation. But coolworks.com, if you're able to travel, There's always a seasonal job hiring somewhere. Um, as long as it's winter or summer, typically. But those are only two things I can really think of. Once again, sorry to hear about losing your job. No, it's got to be this horrible situation. Prayers. Denise, how you doing? First timer, okay. What up, Alfonso? I look like Mike Tyson. Okay, I'll take that. I need a shave and a haircut, but I was supposed to do it today. I was like, I'm not doing it. Oh, you've been on that lurk squad for a minute, Denise? Okay. Jazz said, I really want to talk about being at a job that's not fulfilling and mentally and physically draining. Jazz, you gotta get up out of there. Or be working on a plan to get up out of there. That's yeah. What's the sitch? What are the deets? Yeah, not it gets sticky sometimes when you're trying to get like official paperwork and stuff in the mail. That's the only time it kind of really gets sticky. Um, so like I do have a permanent address, is in Florida. Um, it's a mail forwarding service, so that's how I handle my mail. Uh, it's my legal address, and they're legally allowed to get my mail on my behalf, and they hold it, and then when I want it, they send it to me. But I will say that there have been times when I was in one place long enough that like I could use like when I was in Montana, when I was in Bozeman, I was there for like a year and a half. So like it worked out that when I needed to renew my driver's license, I had all the stuff I needed to get a Montana license because I was, for all intents and purposes, living in Montana. But you do have to think ahead on some stuff like that. Yeah, that's where it can get kind of you got to really learn to like, you know, work the system, not work the system, but you got to think about that type of stuff and figure out how you're going to deal with it. Because that's kind of the only time when this traveling around, sometimes not having a real home, gets weird is when like that type of stuff pops up. You're like, oh man, I'm gonna need an address for that. How are this gonna get sent there? But I definitely recommend like a mail forwarding service because all my important mail goes there, and then they just hold it till I need it and they mail it to me. So I definitely recommend that. Phil, I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Nick just fed the cats. Okay. What's holding me back from making millions of dollars and retiring early? Well, I appreciate the compliment. Said you clearly have the mind for it. Um, I don't know because if I knew what was holding me back, I'd be doing it, and I would have a millionaire. I'd be a million. I'd have $1 million. You know what I mean? So I don't think any. Well, one thing is I'm not actively trying to be a millionaire, so that's one. But I don't think anybody who's actively trying to do something knows for sure what's holding them back. But I'm not actually trying to be a millionaire. But yeah, I mean, I don't, I don't know. Have I been to Santa Rosa? I don't think so. I don't think so. Hey, yeah, yeah, Michael, we enjoyed it. The bargain bear. This is my first time seeing two suitcase Timmy. I was shocked how you could travel so little. It's got me decluttering my whole house. Hey, hey, I'm glad. I'm glad. Give me a little motivation. Let's go. Let's go. Wild thing. I mean, it is easy to. I think it's a constant fight, honestly, to keep from getting sucked into the fear and the worry. I feel like over time, like your levels can diminish, but it takes the slightest thing for it to, that's the nature of like fear and worry. They're very easy to, um, so even like as you get your levels overall come down, the right thing will have you scared again. Um, but that's why like acceptance is something I've really been trying to work on and talk about because it's like, okay, I'm scared of this. I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, I'm not gonna let it stop me. Like, and it's a lot harder to make yourself go through that worry cycle when you keep being like, okay, I know it might not work out. Okay, I know I might go broke. Okay, I know I might get sick. I'm cool with it. If I go broke, I'll have to figure out a way to not go broke. If I get sick, if it doesn't kill me, cool. If it does, well, you know, that's what I like. I like to take it to like the furthest. Is it going to kill me? Hopefully not. Let's do it. Or eventually I get there. I'll worry about it for a while. I'm like, Tim, bro, like, if it happens, it happens. I'm just not dealing with this no more. Like, no, no. But I mean, that's natural. That's natural. Hey, Holly, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate the love, the abundance. Thank you very much. Ken, I haven't had kombucha in, I think I had some last week. It's been a minute. I did say the other day I might have to slow down the kombucha because, $3.99, $3.49, yeah, yeah. Jasmine, I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Burning question. Yeah, maybe some stuff we do know. Maybe some stuff we do know is holding us back. We're just maybe scared. Yeah, that's a good point. In that instance, though, when it's not something I'm actively, like, I don't know. I don't know. Am I good at getting online and filling out applications for such and such? I don't like filling out applications. No, 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 no. Hey, Dakota Eagle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's love. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Appreciate the love. Let me click on that, give you a like. So Tim, thanks for answering my question the other day. Love your videos. You are welcome. You are welcome. We try to answer as many questions as possible, especially the good questions. And I appreciate the love here. Appreciate that abundance and the kind words. Glad you're loving the videos. Thank you. Chris said, "What do you use as a residence?" So I have a mail forwarding service, and you have to fill out some paperwork and get it signed by a notary. But like in certain states, you can use the address they give you as your legal address. So you have to look into that and figure out what states you can do that. Um, but I went through that whole process. So I have a mail forwarding service, and like that's my address. That's my residence. Now, if I'm in another state and I'm there for a while and I have an apartment or renting a room, I can use that address if I need something done in that state or I need to get something mailed to me. But overall, my legal address is what my mail forwarding service, and it's only like $12 a month, which is some of the best money spent. And what I do is like they'll take $100 out of my account, uh, and then they just use that $100, and then they take another 100, so I don't really have to pay it monthly, which is cool. Every now and then they'll hit my account up, and there's no money there. And that's happened like twice. I was only having like twice in like 3 or 4 years. But they'll just send me an email, be like, "We tried to get them $13 up out of you, but you ain't got no money in the bank." I'm like, "Oh, let me move some money around." You know what I mean? Because when they mail me something, they use that money too. So sometimes, back of your mind, I'm thinking, "Oh, I got a couple more months before I gotta," and then they'll mail me something, and then yeah, they go to get that 13, and they're super cool about it. Like they'll just email me, and then you just call and like, "Hey, there's money in there now," and yeah, really cool situation. Um, Hey, we got a super chat train going. Got a super chat train going. Ken coming through. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Ken. Thank you for the support, the continued support, and the great comments. Said pray, love, hedgehog. Oh, I mean pray, basketball. Where'd I get love from? Oh, because I love basketball. Hey, and then Wild Thing coming through. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Super Chat Squad. Thank you, Wild Thing. So get yourself a nice coffee. You're a good man, and I appreciate you. Yes, thank you. By the way, we drank decaf today. Speaking of coffee, glad you brought that up. We drank decaf. I was just gonna I drank some decaf from here in the room, and then I did go to Starbucks because I was gonna walk on the beach, and I was like, I like to have a Starbucks when I walk on the beach. I don't know if I'm gonna do it tomorrow though, because it was like $5. It was crazy. So I go in the Starbucks here, right? Um, and the dude was like, the barista guy showing no love, no love. Like he was helping, so like sometimes they're busy, so he's helping somebody else, but he didn't even like acknowledge. Usually they're like, "Hey, let me finish this up. I got." He didn't even acknowledge. The lady even said, "Oh, he's one of the best baristas around." The lady who was helping, she's like, "He's a really good barista," and I was like, "Oh, good to know, good to know." He didn't even look over and smile. Nothing, nothing. So he finally got to give me my order, right? And I was like, I want a venti decaf americano, whatever. And I paid with cash, and we gave me my change back. I threw $1 in the little tip jar. Bah, bah, hit him with a sawbuck. That's actually not a sawbuck. That's $5. What's a sawbuck? $10. I hit him with a Washington in the little thing. You should have seen how his demeanor changed. This is why you be generous, folks. You should have seen how his demeanor changed. Soon as I threw that $1, but just $1 down in the thing, oh, suddenly he was like, "Oh, sir, did you just want that black, or did you want like sugar or cream or anything in there?" Whole facial expression change. I said, "Boy, see, look at there, look at there, look at there." Didn't even want to speak, but now every time I go in there, I promise you, "Hey, how's it going? Good, papa." You know what I mean? Sometimes it's because I could have went the other route and be like, "Man, this dude don't even want to speak, whatever, whatever," and not even, and just been rude back or whatever, or walked out. Part of me, I'm not gonna lie, when it took him forever to get to me, part of me was like, "Man, I'm just gonna walk out the door," and I was like, "No, I'll wait." See, if I'd done that, then it would have been an issue every time I went in there. Now, with just $1, one bit of generosity, every time I show up, I promise he gonna be like, "Oh, hey, what up? I got you." Just thought it was an interesting story. Um, yeah. Where am I in these comments? See, I get behind the comments because I tell these stories that out of nowhere. Passive learner. What matter? What happened to? Oh, 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 hold on. Oh, sorry about that. I had to turn battery about to die on my computer. Passive learner said, I've been wanting to take a career gap to reset my life to switch industries. I'm 34 and I have planned to use the break for gym and studies on learning cloud engineering. Should I? Yes. Yes, go for it. You've been planning, you switch with it, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Do it. Do it. Good luck. I drink soda every now and then, but like, yeah, not really. Dandy, I think there's a lot of, especially these days, there's a lot of remote options out there. I just think the big thing is the research, like just getting in there and researching remote work and sifting through all the stuff that's not going to work and finding something that works for you. I will say, I think the best ones you come across are ones that you haven't heard of before, you know, on the internet. I'm finding that the things everybody's talking about, everybody's doing. But like, if you can research and find something not a lot of people are talking about, it might really work out. What's Myrtle Beach like, FJ? Quiet right now. Nobody here. That's why I come this time of year. Diamond Pounds, a video for kids on YouTube, I think is one that's specifically for kids. Like you'll know, like it's teddy bears teaching you how to read, or you know what I mean. Like it's specifically for kids. Anything else isn't for kids. But if it's something that's specifically targeting kids, kids are your target audience, then they want you to stipulate that it's for kids. Most videos won't be, but like they want to know if it's for kids because I think they want to kind of monitor it closer. Um, and something with the advertisers too, I think. But most videos aren't for kids. It's really like just for stuff that's specifically targeted at kids. And if you're making those type of videos, you're probably going to want to check that it's for kids because they're probably going to give you kid-based advertising on there. So yeah. Carmel, just traveling, just traveling, just traveling. Sandy, this is not a faith-based chat. No, no, no. I mean, I got faith, but it's not like a religious or spiritual chat. We talk about, spirituality, but hey, glad to hear that, Craig. I'm telling you, we back. We keeping it consistent now. This is I'm dedicated to growing my channel, growing the community, stepping out of my comfort zone with some of this content creation, getting better at it. So yeah. Why I chose that shop? You mean Starbucks? Because it's right next door. Uh, and yeah, he could have been having a bad day. I mean, I have been in that same situation. I've been in that same situation where I just wasn't feeling being my usual customer servicey self, and then somebody threw some money my way, or I went to clean their room and they left a tip, and then suddenly next time I saw them, I'm like, oh hey, how you doing? Ah, what I mean? I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. A tent versus a house? I prefer a house. Yeah. Advice. Let's do this. Boom. Uh, I play some old video games from like the '90s. Seabass. I don't really play any of the new games. Landed save. Yeah, Michelle. How you doing? Bex. Here we tip like at restaurants. Um, the coffee shop, if they got like a tip thing, I'll tip. You're supposed to tip like you're in hotels and stuff. Nobody does, but you're supposed to. Um, yeah, it's kind of weird. I feel like in the U.S. sometimes. Restaurants is the big one. If you tip at restaurants, you'll probably be fine. But there's a lot of other little ones that are on the list, but nobody really does it. I like to tip, so I'm always trying to find a place to tip. I'm like, oh, they take tip. I get mad if I like. There used to be a Starbucks in the Target across the street from my apartment in Denver. There never was a tip thing. I used to get so mad. I done walked all the way over because this is the Starbucks I'd go to, like if it was snowing or whatever. I didn't want to drive. I walked all the way over here. You did a good job. I can't show my gratitude. I don't get no generosity points up in here. I almost asked him one day, like, why? But it probably was because it was in Target. I'm thinking. But yeah, there was no. I used to get so mad. Well, you don't got no tip jar. Schoolboy, what up? How do I put my Instagram link in my description? Just copy and paste. I don't know. Do you need a computer or I don't know what you can do it from your phone or a computer. Yeah, and if you're at the bar drinking, you're supposed to tip. Nobody ever did that. Here's what I used to do. Here's what I used to do. I'm sure some of y'all who used to be or still are heavy at the bar probably done this. I would tip good all night. Like my boy Jesse taught me, this is how we tip. $1 per drink. You know what I mean? Like if I'm dollar per drink, unless we was at the redneck bar getting dollar natty ices or whatever. But like if you're going somewhere and it's $2, $3, $4 for a beer or drink or whatever it is, dollar per drink. That's how we do. Jesse taught me that. And I always ran with that. However, at the end of the night when you broke, I would always, since I knew I'd built up such like a backlog of just like what is the word I'm looking for? The waitresses liked me because I tipped good. You know what I mean? So at the end of the night, if I was broke, I'd be like, "Hey, you could slide me a free beer, could you?" Which, like, they always would, because even if they paid for it themselves, like typically they got a discount. So if like she had to put $2 back into the till to buy a beer for me, she's not gonna care. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like if the girls who weren't even that honest, they just give me free beer, whatever. It wasn't their beer, but I'd be like, hey, you don't think you get? They'd be like, Tim, you crazy? But I'm like, bro, I done tipped you $10, $15 today. I don't know. That used to be funny. Or we just go around and like drink beer out of the bottles that people left on the tables when they left. It's, oh, somebody left when they got beer. People at the end of the night, there's always leaving beer. We just drink that. That's disgusting. I know, but you know, some days you have no money. I don't really have a over like I have a bucket list in the like of like places I want to go. And there's a few things I'm like, yeah, that's on my bucket list, but I don't have it's kind of like a mental bucket list. I don't really have it written out. Like I want to ride in a sleeper car on Amtrak. That's on the bucket list. Not really a big deal. I could do that for about $300. I just haven't done it. Jim, I totally agree that our society is poisoning us with the food we eat. Totally. The food industry makes patients for the healthcare industry. Totally agree. Yeah, yeah, totally agree. I think the big problem is most people are like, well, what can you do about it? So got to die of something, I guess. I don't know. Uh, good seeing you too, Jim. Yeah, retired 2019. If I stay in a hotel even just one night, I'm a tip. Yeah, yeah. Unless I just don't have any cash on me. That happened to me recently. I was like, I have no cash, but if I got I'll tip, yeah. But I mean, that's because I'm in the business. J4, I'm good. I'm good. How are you? They was giving you bad service even though you tip. That's crazy. Sorry to hear that. You had a waitress that I feel like yeah, you do get hated on. I feel like you get hated on. People be hating on you. Not, I'm not at all saying it's deserved, but I feel like sometimes you be hating. Waitresses hating on you. Yes, I always tell people. We talked about this before. People think it's great to be pretty. Sometimes you get hated on for it. You know. You also get privilege sometimes, but Beverly, I'm not gonna go out. Like I don't go out to eat. I'll go somewhere and get something to eat, but I don't ever like go out to eat. Like I rarely sit down at a restaurant and eat. Yeah, nah. Ooh, hotel breakfast burgers. That's a good one. That's a good one. Hey Michelle, whatever to meet up with subscribers. Maybe one day. It would have to. I would have to feel very comfortable doing it. And I'd have to figure out where to do it. You know. So maybe one day. Hey, that's how you do it. That's how you do it, JD. Get you some land, grow your own food. That's the way to do it. I even if I'm at a restaurant and I get bad service, I still tip. Like, like the tipping isn't going to change the service. The service was bad, so I might not tip as much, but like I'm still tip. No, Lee, I did not fly Spirit. I flew Delta as always. Got some more Sky Miles. Yes, yes. Uh, Pace and Jane. I don't have to prove you wrong. I don't have to prove you wrong. You know what I mean? Like you're allowed to feel how you feel. Yeah, and I think part of it too with like the tipping, like at restaurants, I got friends who are waitresses and waiters, and like I know sometimes they have bad days. They might be dealing with a table over here that's crazy. They got like a 20 top, and the people are being, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, I'm not, yeah, I always tip. What up, Alex? I am a Scorpio. Nah, but I've never been so drunk and broke that I stole money. Nah, nah. No, no. There are some things that just are not in my nature. I'll get angry. I'll get, I mean, crazy. I'll try to fight you. Yeah, but I ain't gonna steal from you. Like that's one of those things that I think is just so ingrained in my nature. Nah, nah. When they had me on antidepressants back in the day, it screwed with that part of my moral code, which is why I got off of 'em. But like drunk, nah, nah. I'll just ask. Like, you build up enough goodwill, you can just ask people for stuff. Like everybody knows I'm super generous, especially drunk. I'm buying shots for when I got money, we all got money. When I got money, we all drunk. So like when I would run out of money, like there was usually always somebody who got me because like people are smart. You got those people at the bar who'll sit and see who's buying and hang out with them all the. You know what I mean? You know that we all know that one guy. Oh, everybody getting shots, he there, he gets one. Everybody around on me, he's suddenly there. Like, so people like that a lot of times would, tell him I got you, I get you one. Um, but no, I never stole. Nah, nah. Food line has reasonable price groceries. Yeah, I go to when I'm here. I think there's a food line I go to sometime. And Sanol, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. Hopefully I said your name right. So how do you take care of your health? You go to doctors? I try to go to the doctor as little as possible. I'm gonna be honest. If it's not something where like is really messing with me, I'm gonna go to the doctor. Because and this is nothing against doctors or healthcare workers. It's just that in the past, I used to go to the doctor and there was always like tests they wanted to run and all this other stuff, and they never found nothing. And I'm spending all this money, all this time, and they not finding nothing. So I got to the point that I'm like, now, oh, what? I was trying to like your, um, now if it's something that I'm like, okay, I feel like I need to go to the doctor, I'll go. But short of that, I'm very much in the camp of this too shall pass. If it goes for a while and doesn't pass, all right, let's try the doctor. But that's like the last resort for me. Like I don't, and yes, I know because people are fond of telling me this that it might be something, and if I go to the doctor sooner, they could catch it and take care of it. And if you wait too long, it might be too late. I've accepted that. That might happen. I wait too late. They're like, bro, if you come in 6 months ago, we can catch it. Now, well, you got to deal with it. Okay, So I just make decisions and I live with the consequences. Craig, you put you on antidepressants, you were gambling nonstop, engaging in risk behavior. Same with me. It messes with your mind some. For some of us, some people it works fine. I know some people antidepressants work great. For me, not so much. JD, I don't really want a permanent a tiny house. I don't really like I do want a home base, but like I do want I want some land, but I don't know if I'm really gonna put a house on it. Like that just seems a little too permanent for me. If I could put like a little Home Depot shed on there and for a couple $1,000 make it livable, something like that maybe. But one of them nice fancy tiny homes, not like I don't need nothing fancy, you know. Yeah, that's still I don't know. Them nice tiny homes is too much for me. Give me a shed that I can live in, maybe that. Um, but I don't know, like that'd have to be down the line. I got some stuff I'm trying to do first. Like I don't really want too much permanence now. You stayed 2 weeks in a hotel, had to get your own linens, put out your trash. Should you still tip? I mean, I would, Don, but that's just me. Like I'm in the industry, so somebody still cleaned the room initially. That's the way I look at it. Why'd you have to get your own linens and put out your own trash? You can't call the front desk. I do not eat a lot of apples now. I do the dentist. I've spent a lot of since 2020. I've spent a lot of money at the dentist. These past few years, not as much because 2020, 2021, I got a lot of it taken care of. Like I spent thousands of dollars at the dentist. A lot of the stimulus checks they gave me went to the dentist. Between buying cars and the dentist, that was like all the money. But yeah, the dentist I stay up on. Yeah, the dentist has because I went for so long without going to the dentist, and it cost me. So now I try to stay up on it. Yeah. Uh, Margaret, I've never flown Spirit, so I heard good things about Spirit? No. But but then again, there are some people who love Spirit. So I'm a Delta man. If I'm in the States, I'm flying Delta. I think the last airline I flew that wasn't Delta was Alaska Airlines, but that's because I was coming back from Alaska and I wanted to try. I've heard a lot of good stuff about them too. But other than that, it's like always Delta. Like I ain't, yeah, and that was 2017 probably. Like it's always Delta for me. So that's really the only thing I can speak on is Delta. Yeah, I've been to Kentucky. Yeah, I've been to Kentucky. Bowling Green. Spent some time. Bowling some time, like a week in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Yeah, years ago. First class. I'm gonna fly first class when I get a sponsorship from an airline and they give me first class, or somebody else springs for it. I don't know. I might once fly first class just to say I've done it, but it don't. I don't see the point really. If I'm paying for it, I don't see the point. Like I don't. I like you guys. I like economy in the back. I don't. I always sit in the back, even if I'm booking a flight and there's like no all the seats are empty. I'm gonna sit like all the way in the back window seat. Like I always do that, like row 30 or something like that. So yeah, sitting in a Spirit Airline seat is like sitting in a high school desk chair. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I just enjoy Delta, man. They always take care of me. What up, Charlie? I'm being petty today. Just I don't like when people tell me what to do. Um, they just at Frontiers got yearly deals. Take your word for it. The longest flight I ever taken was what, 10 hours? I think when I was going to the Philippines, it was like 10 hours. That's about my max. I mean, 10 somewhere in there. I think there's some places I want to go that it's gonna be like 12 or so. I feel like that's about my max. I was pretty ready to get off that. But you know what's crazy though? I didn't really get ready to get off that plane until like the last hour. Because like when you're on a really long flight like that, the flight's so long, you don't even think about the time. Or at least I didn't. Because you know you're gonna be on there forever. So I was just, watching movies, sleeping, whatever. The last hour, though, when I knew we were getting close, I started getting real antsy. Like the last hour, I was like, man, I'm ready to get off this plane. Let's go. You know what I mean? But before that, I was just kind of chilling. Like, I don't know. You got all day. Like it's a 10-hour flight, you got all day. You know what I mean? That's a shift at work and then the drive home. That's the commute to work, a shift at work, and the commute home. So I was chilling. But the last hour kind of got to me. Like when I was getting off the plane, the lady looked at me. She was like, "Ooh, rough flight." I was like, "Man, I'm just ready to, I'm just ready to get off this plane." But it was cool. It was cool. I don't know if I could that Australia flight. I don't know that Australia flight. Eh, I don't know. What's that like 24 hours? I don't know. What kind of trip can you take with 100,000 Delta Sky Miles? Oh, that I mean, you could take a trip. You might could go out the country with that 100,000. You can definitely take a domestic flight, pretty decent round trip probably. Yeah, HRH is peaceful, man. It's like nobody here. Like I wouldn't know what to do if I went to the beach during normal season. Like I'm always at the beach when there's like nobody here. I might have come across 10, 15 people and I walked on the beach for 40, 30, 45 minutes. Like there's like nobody. I love it. I love it. I love it. Go in the restaurants, nobody's there. Yeah, it might be worth it to take first class to Australia, but you know how much that is going to be. And another good thing on those long flights, they're at least on Delta, uh, they feed you a lot. I think it's because they don't want you freaking out or whatever. So, and I mean, it's such a big plane. By the time they finish one meal service, they're coming down with snacks. By the time they finish snacks, well, they're coming down with coffee and tea. By the time they finish that, it's time for the next meal. So yeah, there was a lot to watch. I remember that, like, because I pay attention. I'm watching them hand out coffee, tea, drinks. I'm like, oh, they getting wine. Oh, they getting whatever. It's just a lot to watch and a lot to eat. Just yeah, it's warm. It's warm here. I mean, it's. I think it was in the 60s today. So when the wind wasn't blowing, it was nice. I mean, it was nice all day long. But like I said, my short, like when the wind wasn't blowing, I'm walking with that little jacket on. It was kind of too much. Too nice for that. Q, what up? Appreciate you saying that. Alec, you had orange juice spilled on you. You didn't notice it till you woke up and got off the plane. Oh, you was sleep. Okay. Deja. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be here for a minute. I'm gonna be here for a minute. Yeah. I do not wear shorts in public. Like I might wear shorts. Like if I'm out the house, I got pants on. I just don't wear shorts. I wear shorts to like bed or at the house. I don't. Yeah, I don't wear shorts like out. I don't really have legs for shorts. Yeah, I don't really have legs for shorts. Michelle, you always on alert. That's because you fly in spirit. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, I don't sleep that good on the. I'll nod off a little bit on the plane, but I don't really sleep that good. Hey, sports and everything and anything talk. I try to be very interactive. Like it's a community. This is a conversation. It is a bit one sided on my part. I know. But that's what the live streams are for. Like that's why people appreciate live streams is because we're able to kind of like go back and forth, um, interact. So like yeah, I mean it's to me every now and then I do one of those streams where like in the beginning I kind of do but like it always comes back to like Q&A because like I think that's the whole point. We're talking, and yeah, we always gonna be positive no matter what. We keep it positive. I probably wouldn't go back to New Orleans anytime soon. Our soul internet, yeah, just wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan. No, Sam, I'm not going to buy a car or an electric scooter or a bike or an RV or a van or yeah. Can I do a walk and talk from here? Yeah, Denise, the only issue with walk and talks here is the wind. So I do need to I'll try to go out and see if I can find a non-windy day and do a walk and talk. Um, but I may have to wait. I need to order a microphone, like a nice microphone. I can justify the expense, you know. So I should have been had one. I just haven't. So I may have to wait until, but I definitely want to do some walks along the beach. Totally, totally. Dana, I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, South Kakalaki. I don't know why they call it that. Deja, I think I'm going to get one of those Rode mics that everybody else is getting, the clip-on ones. There was another brand that I saw that I did some research on and looked cool, but that one was like 150. The Rode microphone, I think, is like 189. I might as well go with the one that I see everybody using, so I know it's good. Yeah, that's part of the reason I haven't got one because it's like $200, and I'm like, but I need one. I need a good mic. Like that, I'm one of those people. One of my shortcomings in business is I don't like to put money back into the business. You know, I just not. I seen a dude making a YouTube video about metal detectors. I thought it was cool. I never see people making YouTube videos, but he was right outside my window when I looked down. He was making YouTube videos about metal detectors, and he was stay there a while. He was, and when I walked past, he had all kinds of equipment. And I was like, look at that, Tim. See, that's a real YouTuber. He has like real equipment. You just use your cell phone, but I don't care. But I do need some. I do need like a microphone. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Jim. Light blue, NFT, North Face Timmy. I'm here. Uh, yeah, bless the blend show has been over for we did like 2 episodes and then yeah. Shout out to Travel Snacks. That's the home. Sold my car, Dana. Yep, yep. One of my friends from back home was like, "Bro, you sold your car?" I was like, "Yep." Jamie, the YMCA of the Rockies is bi-weekly and it's Friday. You get paid. Appreciate y'all liking the shirt. Appreciate that. I know I like a little North Face shirt. Yeah, Lee. I used to have a microphone, but it was one of them like I used to have a Blue Yeti, but you can't travel with that. It looks like a gun. It's a so I got rid of that, and I had some small clip on ones, but they were like the $20 ones. And I ended like every time I'd have one, and then I'd lose part of it, or it would break, and this audio was crap. I'm like, Tim, just get the good one. I'm bad about that. Like when it comes to like equipment and stuff, I try to go cheap, and it does. Yeah, no, Tim, just spend the $200 once, and you'll have the microphone for a couple of years. Like, bro, come on. J4 said that Nolan's food was delicious though. The gumbo, hush puppies, fish, shrimp. I'm not a foodie, so like, see, like I would have to go to New Orleans with somebody during Mardi Gras, and they take me to the good places to eat. Me by myself, Did I find a good chicken wing place? Weird, Denise. Here? Oh yeah, I got my chicken wing spot here. Oh yeah, trust, trust. I was there last night. Yeah, I got it. First thing, touchdown, checked in, wings. Wings, and I got a salad too. Because I'm trying to eat healthy. But yeah, man. Anywhere I go back to, I've got a wing spot. If I've been somewhere before and I go back, that means I got a wing spot. I probably got a Chinese food spot there too. Like Random Rocket, Scotland in the building. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, that's I find a wing spot. I find a Chinese food place, and I typically find like a park or somewhere to like walk. That I can go on a regular basis. Here it's the beach, but yeah, I don't have a favorite food, Seabass, but I think everyone will tell you I appreciate chicken wings. You know, but there's lots of food. Like I love lasagna. I just don't eat it a lot because like the cheese and stuff. You know, I'm splurging if I'm chowing down on some lasagna. But yeah, like I love lasagna. I just don't eat it too much. The exhausting introverts experience in the workplace. What's crazy? And I've talked to other people who are like this. I think when it comes to like work, there's two types of introverts. So for me, like when I'm at work, I'm extroverted because like I have to be. Unless there's a situation where I can be introverted at work, but then someone comes around bothering me. It's kind of complex. Like if I can't be introverted, like when I was a housekeeping system manager, like I have to be extroverted. I got to talk to everybody. Didn't bother me. I'm floor walks was my favorite. I'm checking in on everybody. I love floor walks. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, how you doing? You good? Pop, what you need? I'm mixing it up. Love it. But when I'm just a housekeeper and I can be by myself, it would drive me crazy when people would come on my floor to talk to me. I'd be like, what are you doing here? But like, I don't know, like work, it's right after work that my introversion kicks in. At 5:03, I don't want to talk to nobody. But I know what you're saying about like being introverted, being at work, having to be around people, and you don't want to interact and you have to. Excuse me. Hold on. Still starting to come up. What's that? Um, yeah, that can be aggravating. It's like, leave me alone, let me do my job. I'm just here to work. What flavor wings? Mild, mild, mild. My first subscriber meetup will be the wing place. Probably not, because I don't like eating in front of people. What to do when the relationship feels one-sided? Jay, I will admit I'm rarely in relationships, so I don't know if any relationship advice I give is good advice. All I can answer is, for me, is like, I'm probably going to ease my way up out of there if it feels one-sided. Because if I'm not getting what I need from this relationship, why am I in it? But I know it's hard to get out of a relationship, so that's easy to say. But yeah, I know me. Yeah, like, if it's one-sided, why am I here? Like, that's a good point. Communicate first, though. Denise, I like pizza, but pizza's another one I don't really eat a lot of, because just the grease and the cheese, it'll be a situation in a couple hours, if and you know what I mean. So yeah. Meeting it at 5:02, you were done. Why do people lie? That's a good question. A lot of people lie out of fear. I mean, you can give a lot of reasons why people lie, but then there's people in those same situations who don't lie. What makes one person a liar and one person honest? You know, we can look at the reasons, the excuses, but I don't know if we'll ever be able to figure out what makes one person use those excuses, fall for those reasons, and what makes another person not. Liars lie, stealers steal. Like, I don't know. I'm on team honest. Some people aren't. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. One of the mysteries of life, I think. Yulumu. If you got if taking a break from university and from work, and oh, you said, but just go work, hike, travel, do all that. Yeah, do it. Do it. Do it. Go for it. Go for it. Why not? You're punished being honest? I mean, but a truly honest person, if that is true, why do some people still remain honest and other people allow it to make them dishonest? It always goes back to that question. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter what excuse you say. There will always be people who don't fall for that. It doesn't matter. A truly honest person doesn't care. Punish me. I don't care. I'm be honest. So why is that person like that? And someone else will be like, "Oh, I don't want to get punished on a lie." What's. Some of it's pathological, but what does that mean? Why is it pathological? You know what I mean? Like, once again, there's no, it can't be answered. We don't know. Some people are just born liars. Why? You know what I mean? We don't know. Hey, Crypto Pimp coming through again with love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad said, "Good evening, Tim. Enjoy your content. Enjoy your current." I'm reading all wrong. Enjoy your current destination. Hashtag Team Two Suitcase Timmy. Let's go, let's go. Hashtag Two Suitcase Timmy. Team Two Suitcase Timmy. Thank you, Crypto Pimp. Let me give you a like on that. Nice. Thank you. I appreciate the continued support. Thank you. And the likes are looking good. Over 200 likes. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to Churn. I'm just gonna say Churn. I don't know if I can pronounce the whole name properly. Said Tim, thank you for all the content. I'm really loving it. Yes, glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Stay tuned. More content coming. Glad to hear that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm team honest, man. Like I just don't. And I think when you realize that a lot of the stuff we firmly believe in. For example, I believe in honesty. When I realized that, like, on some level, I don't know why I'm team honesty, then that keeps me from getting an inflated ego about it. Because it's easy to walk around like I do the right thing. I'm an honest person. I'm a good man. Get that ego. But at the end of the day, even if you are all those things, you don't really know why. You might have just been born good, and someone else might have been born bad. Who knows? Or maybe you worked on it and got to the place of being a good person. But what prompted you to work on it, and it didn't prompt this other person to work on it. Like no matter how you look at it, it all boils down to we really don't know why we are who we are. The best we can do is just be who we are, try to get better. If there's things about us we don't like, try to change them. Try to keep growing, keep getting better, swapping out some of the personality traits we don't like. That's why I don't say personality flaws, character flaws. I just say I have traits I want to change. Because like I didn't ask for it. I'm not gonna call it a flaw if I didn't ask for it. Like you know what I mean? No, no. So yeah, just at the end of the day, we don't know. So one hand, it keeps us from beating ourselves up too much when we have some traits we don't like, and also keeps us from getting the big head, the ego. Because it's like at the end of the, you don't know. You might have just been born nice. Somebody else came up in an environment where everybody was rude. They don't know no better. You're not better than them because you're nice. You know what I mean? And it keeps us from like judging people too much, I think. My favorite topic to talk about? I don't really have a favorite topic. I do enjoy talking about women's basketball though, a lot. Um, Even though I have missed so many games recently. I had YouTube TV, and that's how I was getting a lot of my games. And then I was like, man, I can't afford to renew that. But today I'm like, I'm renewing it. Hey, have fun on your vacation next week, Jizzle. Is Santa a lie? I've never met him. Never met the man. Couldn't tell you. Never met the man. Yeah, Craig, YouTube TV is worth it. Actually, I'll probably get more games because I'm on the East Coast now. It goes by where you're at. Um, but it's still like 80 some dollars. So like it's worth it, but like when you worried about them 80. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, I don't know if I could justify that. But then I was like, man, I don't want to be. But then there was a lot of people who were uploading the games on YouTube. I was watching them, and the main guy who was doing that, or person who was doing that, started uploading a lot of volleyball. Because I think they would go through and like edit out all the commercials and stuff. So that takes time. So they were doing volleyball instead of basketball. And I'm like, I'm missing games, bro. Like, and even though you don't get all the games on YouTube TV, like the big games you get. So I may have to get it back. Churn. I do think my parents contributed a lot to how I am in this life. The household they provided, the spiritual guidance they provided, just a lot of, the love. They taught me to love everybody, to be accepting of everybody. And surprisingly enough, even though being raised in a very strict religion, there also was that underlying though, like find out for yourself though. Kind of odd. You wouldn't think it would be that way, but there was always kind of like an underlying research and find out for yourself. Um, and even though I'm sure they didn't think that eventual research and finding out for myself would take me away from that religion, I got the message. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think my parents played a big part, and still, my dad especially still plays a big part in like who I am. It. I always say to have two examples in my parents of what I think a good person is or how you should behave has been huge for me because I can look, and I mean, we all got our areas where we need work. My parents aren't perfect, but I can look and I can see two people who try very hard and have moral codes and are good, who I consider good people. And the times in my life when I wasn't matching up with that, it was what kind of brought me back. Was like, oh, like you know how you're supposed to be acting because both of your parents are good people. So like, how are you? You know what I mean? That really helped me out a lot. Missy Moto, how's it going? I would watch Ghost Gamer Girl. I would watch women's basketball with my girlfriend if she was like really into women's basketball or if she wanted to watch it with me for me. Just like if she had a show she really liked, even if I wasn't really into it, if I knew she kind of that would mean something to her, yeah. Would I watch it with her if she didn't really want to be watching it? No, because then it's not gonna. But like if she really liked basketball, or if she was like, "Hey, I'll watch it with you," like cool, you know. Um, so yeah, I would in the right situation. What up, Johan? We here. Hey, retired 2019. I might get back up there to the arcade, the 25-cent arcade. Actually, the mall is a bit away from. I probably will go to the mall once or twice because my plan. I'm already two suitcase Timmy, but I'm gonna go through all my stuff, the very few, the limited possessions I have now, and I'm gonna make sure that everything I have I need. Oh, and the silver play button did make it. It did make it. A lot of people were concerned. The silver play button made it, but I'm probably gonna go through and I might get rid of some more stuff and then replace it with like good, high quality, stuff I definitely need. Like I got a couple pairs of pants that I might get rid of and buy different pants because I bought the pants that I have now for different scenario. So I might end up at the mall. I do not watch the NBA. No, no. Do I ever see myself in low income housing if your life gets worse because of health or financial reasons? No. And the reason I say that is because I don't sit around and envision bad scenarios. Like what would be I mean, you could do that all day long. Like you could envision any like so like yeah, I don't sit around and envision negative scenarios. What I will say is that like I take life as it comes. So if that happens, I'd be grateful to have the low income housing. But I don't envision myself in low income housing. No. I envision myself forever making a decent living, being able to pay my bills, being able to help others. If the low income housing happens, well, it happens. I just hope it's got good Wi-Fi. But I just don't. Yeah, I don't sit around envisioning or worrying about stuff like that. Like what's the? I don't. Yeah, what's the point? Jay Sheets, good question. Anyone else unable to make any friends connections with people? See what the chat has to say about that. Mitchell, glad to hear you know that done with your final soon. One more project. What up, Praveen? My thoughts on quality over quantity. In what regard, Desert? Azul, say, see you later. Oh yeah, Monica. I somebody else had said that. Ask a friend to hold the silver play button. It doesn't serve a purpose. So the only time I ever ask somebody to hold on to something for me is if Like it's something I really need that serves a purpose. Important paperwork, something like that. Silver play button doesn't serve a purpose. So like I don't need to keep it. Like it's not that important. Um, it's just a bauble. It's a shiny thing. It's a trinket. So I like it, and while I have room for it, I'll keep it. But like when I don't have room for it, I don't need to keep it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't serve a purpose. And like I'm just not attached to stuff that doesn't serve. I just really don't. I can like something, but like once it's done serving a purpose, I don't even want to go through the hassle of mailing. Like, what's you know what I mean? So like, while I got room for it, cool, But like once I make the decision, I don't need it. I don't need it. Like, I'm fine. It really doesn't bother me, and I think I can order a new one if I ever needed to. So, Alex P, what up? AZ in the building. Excuse me. Have you ever had an experience where I thought my life was in danger? No, I don't think so. No. Hashtag blessed. No, thank you. I do not agree with you don't need friends if you love yourself. I think that's the type of stuff people say that we're humans, we're social creatures. I mean, they've done experiments. If a baby don't get love, it could die. Like I think we like to think have this whole ideal of you don't need people, you do. Can you survive without friends? Yes, but like you need friends. You know what I mean? Like you need friends. And I don't care how much you love yourself, that's going to be a void that needs filling. That's going to be something that bothers you. If you want friends and don't have it. And I know sometimes I think we like to say stuff like that, like if you love yourself, you don't need friends, because like we like to when someone's in a situation that there's no answer, we like to come up with like a platitude or something and say, "Oh, I told him that. We don't need to help him." Sometimes you get in situations where, hey, it might be hard to make connections. I really would like to make some connections, but I mean, you can't make people make connections with you. So for some people, it will be harder, and sadly, and it's not like anybody wants that, but like it doesn't help the situation by putting the blame on them. Oh, you just don't love yourself enough. Like what? Like bro, like it's like that. Some people are single. Some people don't have friends. It changes. A lot of people, man, I was single 10 years and I met my wife, love of my life. I didn't have a lot of friends. I ended up doing so and so. Now I got a friend. It changes. It is possible to make connections, keep working at it. But like, I think it's something we all do crave on some level. I feel like it's part of humanity. Now, I do think there are some people who don't want friends. There are some people who are content to be by themselves. And I think that's just their character. I don't think they've solved oh, I love myself enough. I think they just, for whatever reason, don't really like being around people. But even those people typically have one or two people they hang out with um, when they want to. A lot of the people, myself included, man, I could be alone all the time, but I got like some of the best friends in the world. I just don't be around them a lot. But when I want to, I have those people. So that's even still different from someone who wants to be around people and just has nobody. Like that's horrible. Like, but it's not the person's fault, you know, in my opinion. Gamer girl, don't you be on the stream with your cousin or whatever? Y'all not friends? I mean, Lee, I think every traveler worries about losing their wallet or their passport, but like you can lose your wallet at home. You know what I mean? So I think those are just the things you have to accept. I almost lost my passport at the airport. I left it at the TSA, and the lady came running after me. That was after one of them long flights, one of them 8, 9 hour flights, and I was out of it. Walked away, left my passport in a little bin at TSA. And she just happened to see it right then, and it would have been crazy. But I mean, what are you going to do? Not travel because of that? What up, Night Fighter? I feel you. Money you tolerate your husband want to live apart. I feel you on that too. I mean, Johan said, what's your opinion about how social media influences our decisions? It's always going to be something. Before it was social media, it was the television. Before it was the television, it was the radio, magazines. It's always something. So it's not so much what is currently influencing most people's decisions at the moment. It's, are you allowing it to? So that's my thing with like social media. Anybody can take TikTok off their phone, Instagram off their phone, YouTube off. Like, you don't have to use social media. You definitely don't have to be on there scrolling, zombie scrolling all hours of the day and the night. So, like, does social media influence us? Yeah, but only to the level we allow it. It's always going to be something. When we get augmented reality, virtual reality, whatever's coming next is going to do it. AI, it's always going to be something. It's just how much we allow it. Guatemala lost the passport at the house. Yeah, Praveen had an amazing day. Yeah. I don't know the longest American domestic flight. Probably like somewhere northeast to southwest somewhere. I think YouTube, social media, yeah. Bobby, you did a 35-hour flying with the 2-hour layover. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, social media can cause depression. Yeah, I'm definitely not saying there aren't some side effects to social media. But once again, they said the same thing about television. Sure, they probably said the same thing about like everything does what it does. You know what I mean? It falls on us to realize that and then decide how much we're going to let social media into our life. Because social media is just us. It's us posting on platforms and us watching it. So anything social media does is us. Like, that's what I don't. That's why, like, I don't demonize social media. It's us. Someone came along and said, "Hey, I'm gonna build a platform where you can post stuff, and then you can read and see what other people posted." Now, of course, they do some funny little stuff to keep you on there, But like, if you don't go on Facebook, Facebook can affect you. If you don't go on Instagram, Instagram can affect you. So, like, at the end of the day, you know, you got to take accountability. If social media ruins your life, well, then you were on it enough for it to ruin your life. Not saying the social media, there's some, you know what I mean? But like, we have to take some level of accountability. Now, maybe it happened before you realized that it could happen, but still, like, there's some level of like you was involved too. Yeah, I went for a walk today. Yeah. Hey, JS, glad to hear that. Yeah, but see, Walamala says social media is not us. People have fake personalities and only post their highlight reels to make others jealous of their regular reels. So, social media is people, us, posting fake stuff. It's still us. You know what I mean? It's us doing that. Facebook isn't coming up with fake profiles for you. No, it's people doing what people do. You can't get away from it. It's us. It's us posting fake stuff. We just so bad want to demonize social media. I get it. We always want to blame something. So bad. But at the end of the day, it's still us doing it. Now, AI is probably coming along, making up all kinds of fake profiles. That's different. But like, what, like it'd be like if there was a restaurant in town and everybody knew that restaurant, every other meal gave you the runs. Hey, if you, or every other day, if you go in there on Tuesday and the food's good, you're gonna get the runs on Wednesday. And you keep going to the restaurant. You keep eating there. Every time I eat here, I get the runs. Someone's gonna be like, well, stop eating there. You know what I mean? Or if I eat too much of this food, it makes me sick. Stop eating the food. But social media, we stay engaging with it while talking bad about it. Oh, social media is horrible. It's ruining our kids. You got Facebook, yeah. You got Instagram, yeah. You got TikTok, yeah. How much you on there? 5 hours a day? What do? I'm okay. I'm off it. Okay, I'm sorry. You're at Africa got the natural baddies. Hey, bro, I keep telling y'all. Now, this does cost a couple dollars, but fellas, no one's gonna listen. They're not gonna listen. I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm trying to give them game here. Fellas, go on Tinder. Pay the $19 so you get the upgrade, the Tinder Plus, the whatever that allows you to search different locations. Okay. Search for Accra, Ghana, ACCRA, and just see all the hits you get. Okay. Or I'm telling you, put your profile up, search in another country. They'll be able to see you. Set it up so like they can. Okay. 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 Yeah, they don't listen. They don't want. I mean, gorgeous women. I'm telling. Okay. They don't want. I'm giving them the. Okay. I've only tried Ghana because that's where I want to go, but I'm sure it works everywhere. Um, yeah, yeah, Missy Moto. Like I think we gotta. Sometimes we gotta be smarter than. But it's just like human nature. We like to point at something and say it's bad and blame it for everything. We love the blame game, but it's like sometimes we got to realize some of the blame lies with us too. Like it, you know, crypto pimp. That was real game right there. That's real game right there. For $19, I promise. Every time I do that, I promise you, I get like 50 women hit me up from Ghana. Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. Ba ba ba. You know, gorgeous women, way finer than the average standard I get here. I'm like, wow, like this crazy. I'm like, hey, I'm in America. They're like, oh, when you come to visit, like, boom, 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 like, oh, okay, all right, okay. All right. You see what I'm doing? I'm setting up some situations for when I go. I'm gonna already have a few. I might not even have to pay for a hotel for, the, for, the, for the small price of 19.99. I might have a whole situation set up when I go to Ghana. Like you stay at Airbnb? Nope. No. Zero spent on housing or food. You okay? All right. You know, I don't know. For me, yeah, do some traveling. Um, I tell you, I just you look at how everybody else is doing something, do the opposite. Do something different. I actually had that conversation with myself today on even some other stuff. I'm like, Tim, I feel like you need to your specialty is you do stuff different. So you need to start doing more different stuff and with other different things. No, I would not climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Yeah, I already know they're gonna chef it up over there. Which I mean, I don't. I feel like I know there's a lot of American women who cook too. I know that for a fact. Like so, if that was my goal here, I'm sure I can make that happen here too. But a different country, you gotta let them cook because you only know the grocery situation. You know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to jump off. I just want to go for a couple hours. Come through, say what's up, see if anybody wants to talk, have a little fun. Thank y'all for coming through. Big shout out to the Super Chat Squad. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. I'm definitely going to try to get some like actual videos sometime soon. Definitely going to keep the shorts coming. That's back part of my YouTube strategy for the upcoming years. Get the shorts going, but definitely going to do the streams. We got I said no. I mean, we got I feel like we talked. But yeah, and with the streams too. This one was just kind of a free for all, but I got a lot of topics that I want to like really get into on some of these live streams. So I'm excited for the rest of this year going into 2024. Hope you have an amazing evening. I love each and every one of y'all. Talk to y'all soon.